All right, good morning and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio. This is our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Lee Doubleday and I'm the Director of Operations here at the Imagine America Foundation. I'm excited about today's topic, Life After High School, Training for 2023 Graduates, sponsored by Bryant and Stratton College. Bryant and Stratton College has an online school as well as 19 ground campus locations in New York, Ohio, Virginia, and of course, Wisconsin. Bryant and Stratton College is also a relatively new member of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs. If you would like more information on how to help your students apply for our scholarship to attend the institution we're talking about today, please visit our website, which is imagine-america.org, or you can call or email myself. We will also be sending you a scholarship link and a PDF flyer after this call is over as well. Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America has remained the leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in qualified workers. We hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country, desperately looking for qualified employees, so we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation is Bryant and Stratton College, and joining us today to discuss in detail the looming worker shortage and how Bryant and Stratton College is helping meet this need is Crystal Morgan. Crystal is Bryant and Stratton College's premier high school presenter and has been working with high schools and college admissions for over 15 years, so you're in good hands today. But before turning the program over to Crystal, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with question and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can and are encouraged to submit questions while this presentation is in session via the Q&A or the chat feature inside of this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, or approximately 10:25, I will then present any questions offered by the participants. We'll address as many questions as possible and provide written responses and follow-up emails if necessary. But we will have a hard close at 10:30 a.m. to be respectful of your time. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Crystal. Crystal, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Lee. Good morning. So today, guys, I'm excited to talk with you about some of the challenges facing tomorrow's workforce. We're certainly going to talk about opportunities to better prepare students for life after high school. And then last, we'll talk about Bryant and Stratton College's path to college and career success. You know, one of the things that we have recognized is that the workforce is ever evolving. You know, when you think about, the recruitment process, onboarding, retention, that doesn't look the same as it did 2020 and prior. It's definitely looking a lot, more challenging these days. And more importantly, we want to think about how do we help our students, through their academic journey to ensure that they are prepared for that workforce that's ever evolving, what they're going to be stepping into, as early as this summer. And so when I think about this category, like I said, 2020 to now and beyond, there's the pre-pandemic workforce versus post-pandemic workforce. Some of it is, a lot of opportunities erupted where individuals could work remote. Perhaps there was a shift in hours. Perhaps it was expectations around being customer facing. And so with that, a lot of individuals have shifted their idea of what a typical workday should look like. There is that perception versus reality. There's generational gaps that are going on. There's a lot of new normals that are taking place. And so imagine being that 17 or 18-year-old who's entering the workforce for the first time during these challenging times. They may walk into an office space where it's quite obvious that those individuals who are already working there, there's a level of uncomfortability or uneasiness in some of the processes as they're navigating through these new normals. And so the one thing we know is that we can grow the workforce via skilled education that will prepare our students for future career success. The old way of thinking was, I graduate from high school, I'm going to get into a college, I'll get a solid education, I'm going to earn my degree, and then I'll really just start the job search process. There's a lot of pressures on families now, and we hear it from high school students all the time. They're being forced to go to work sooner. They're being forced to contribute to household expenses. Again, I can't stress it enough, just so many changes that have occurred. And so now, even at that, junior and senior level, they're already thinking about, how can I get into a good and satisfying career? What jobs will I like? What jobs are going to be a good fit for me? Where can I get hands-on experience? How can I get the skills that employers need and are looking for? Because the number one reason that high school and college graduates don't get hired is lack of experience. And so our students, as they're going through and graduating from high school and looking into all these opportunities, they're kind of 2 to 3 steps ahead, trying to figure out, how do I just get in this career? How can I start making an income? How can I start contributing to some of the household expenses? Versus, again, prior, they might stay living at home through college where mom and dad took care of everything. Now they're staying at home, but many times they're helping to contribute to the household expenses. When they're going out into the workforce, we see there's a ton of job vacancies. Many places are understaffed. There's a ton of demand on the existing staff. And so again, I'm going to think about that 2020 to now and beyond. There's not a place out there that you go to where it's not obvious that there's individuals that are working harder than they've ever had to, because there's positions that are open. There are employees that have had to take on additional responsibilities, many times without pay, without additional reward or recognition. And so this is how they're feeling. They feel as though they need help. They feel as though they need to find that avenue that's going to get them to where they need to be in their career, whether it's financially or success, their own personal and professional success. They're feeling that I'm understaffed, underpaid. New people are coming in. There's just a lack of training because managers are overwhelmed. Again, there's that underappreciation, feeling overworked, feeling overwhelmed. And just being quite honest, a lot of those individuals that have stuck it out, they're kind of over it. And so again, I think about those 17 to 18-year-olds. They're graduating from high school. They're going to go get their college education or that apprenticeship program under their belt. They're going to go into the workforce. And these are the individuals that they're going to go join in that workspace. They're going to go join those people that are feeling like, man, this person's not even going to make it. They're probably not going to get the training they need. And if they do, they may not stick around. And so how can we prepare them for coming in, being able to make an impact on the organization, blend within the existing team and really help to find their way, pave their path. And so we have opportunities to prepare our students for life after high school. Some of that is you as guidance counselors and teachers play a very important role. You are truly the career catalyst who can help change and mold their lives. You may at times be the only one giving them real facts about college and career readiness. High school students need to learn and understand how high school prepares them for college and how college is going to prepare them for a career. And again, you may be the only one that's providing them the motivation needed to think about and pursue a successful life after high school, starting with attending college and deciding what college is best for them. And you are often that conduit between your student and the college or colleges that are the best fit for your student and their interest and career aspirations. For some of that, it could be simply just family dynamics. Maybe they're a first generation college student, so they don't have someone in the household who can help them to navigate those pieces. And for some, it may be just lack of parental support. For others, it could simply be that the families are kind of drowning themselves. Think about all that we just talked about that's going on in the world. They could be, the parents themselves could be overworked at their own jobs and their own careers. And it's very difficult to shift focus and think, how can I help my 17 or 18-year-old navigate all of these pieces, when at the end of the day, they may also feel like they're drowning a little. They're just trying to get through all of these new normals. And so we know, and we keep going back to it, today's workforce needs that infusion of skilled workers. Helping high school students really understand prior to graduation the benefits and differences of a job versus a career is huge. There are a ton of jobs out there, and that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with taking on a job, especially if they're not in a place to take on all of the responsibilities of a career. But if you have those students from a personal and professional maturity, that if they get the training, they could really jump into and launch their career. Then we want to help them with things like having those skills such as networking, professional integration, understanding and appreciating the importance of teamwork, helping them with things like research and evaluation, adaptability, critical thinking and creative problem solving, communication skills, both written and verbal, conflict resolution, that's a huge one, leadership, because leadership doesn't come with a title. Leadership is absolutely about, being the person on your team who does the right thing, even when nobody else is looking. And then if they're working in that clinical field, making sure they understand the importance of patient care. You can't get into the clinical world if you don't really care about or have a passion for helping others. So just, understanding that passion and compassion piece in that clinical setting. One of the things that you all as teachers and counselors, again, have the opportunity to help them with is get them in the mindset of exploring a variety of career options. Help them to determine their interests. So many times there's this pressure of you have to know what it is that you're going to do. The reality is, how many of us knew exactly what we were going to do for the rest of our lives at 17 or 18 years old? I know I didn't. As a matter of fact, I have an IT degree, definitely not working in IT. And so you think about that with, the students that you're working with now, let them start exploring. And so one of the things that you can do is kind of break that into categories. For example, if you have a student who enjoys working with their hands, especially on projects that allow them to be more physically active, they're a doer. Doers are often classified as being practical, stable, self-controlled, and independent. So some of the career possibilities, they could get into becoming a physical therapist, a licensed practical nurse, a dental technician, an air traffic controller, a police officer, or even an athletic trainer. That's more of that hands-on doing, want to be physically active. It's going to allow them to have a career that's self-fulfilling. Are they observant, curious about the world around them? Typically, if they're an investigator, they're more inquisitive and intellectually self-confident. They're logical. So maybe that's a computer analyst or a science teacher, could be a technical writer or a veterinarian. Maybe they want to become a paralegal. So in that career cluster, helping them to look at all of those various career possibilities. Do you have those students that are artistic? Artistic people value creative self-expression. They tend to be more innovative, imaginative, and unconventional. They love working more freely, putting their emotions into their work. And so when I think about that, that student, that's someone who might want to be a florist. Perhaps they want to be a graphic designer. Maybe they want to be an architect or a cosmetologist. There's a variety of positions out there that would allow someone to take their authentic self and put that into their work. Are they a helper? Helpers enjoy jobs that allow them to interact with people. This may include new skills or helping with personal problems. Helpers can exhibit emotional attachments and tend to be very in touch with their feelings. So some of these roles may be youth services, counselor, social work, parole officer, receptionist, therapist, even a childcare provider, right? So they enjoy helping others. So help them explore that, opportunities that are out there in that realm. Are they an entertainer? Entertainers are often very self-confident, social, and adventurous. They enjoy making decisions, selling products, leading groups, and debating politics. That might be a branch manager, a real estate appraiser, a business manager, a lawyer, a radio personality, an advertising agent, and that's just simply to name a few. Allow that person who's the outspoken, person within your high school, within your classes, that person, there's a whole world of opportunities out there for them. And lastly, are they a detailer? Detailers are conventional people who enjoy collecting and organizing. They work well within a system and are efficient and practical. Detailers enjoy playing by the rules and work well within boundaries. This would definitely not be my area of, expertise, but I can tell you there are individuals out there that this is their wheelhouse. They would want to be an accountant or an auditor, an insurance underwriter, a court reporter, a tax consultant, a paralegal, a credit manager, a proofreader. Again, the opportunities are endless. We just have to help them to navigate the world and really see all the different opportunities that are out there that exist for them. Once they've identified kind of the who they are and the types of career possibilities that could be a match for them, The next piece in really helping them to prepare is going to be, let's have them begin researching their career educational requirements. Because graduating high school today, there's so many possibilities out there for them that at times it could be so overwhelming with all the people reaching out, offering opportunities, offering options, that they may choose to do nothing. So get them to really research the career educational requirements. Is it a 2-year college? Is it a 4-year? Is it a trade school? Is it a career college? Is it a community college? Is it an apprenticeship? Can they just get, on the job training? Perhaps it's the training they could receive in the military and they plan to take their educational benefits and use those later. But help them explore what are the educational requirements for the specific position or positions they have a level of interest in. And then from there, help them to see the value in narrowing down, 2 or 3 possibilities to get there, right? How many colleges should they be looking at? 2 to 3, absolutely. Looking to see which one's going to be the best match. From there, helping them understand that they need to set goals, right? They may have this career, aspiration. They know what type of career training is going to be necessary to get there. But now they have to really create the plan, because a goal without a plan is simply a wish. So we want to get them to really think about, yes, we absolutely want you to dream big, 100%. But we also need you to focus on setting those goals, both short-term and long-term. What can you do right now while you're in high school to have success at graduation? What do you need to accomplish in your first 2 years out of high school as you enter the workforce or enter college? What do you hope to accomplish in the next 3 to 5 years? Now, what about the next 8 to 10 years? Having those types of conversations where they're really taking those dream big concepts, breaking that down into those short-term, long-term goals will allow them to take action. Because again, without that take action piece, it's simply just words, right? It's really just that wish. So this is a big way that we're able to help them. One of the things that's also helpful is giving them kind of stepping stones, right? Help them with career pathing opportunities. So for example, if I had a student who tells me they want to become a nurse, and they know that, based on what they've researched, to work at the local hospital as a nurse, they have to have a BSN. They have to have a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. Well, perhaps what they don't know is that to get hired within that hospital, you don't have to have your BSN, but you have to have that BSN within 3 years of starting your position with the hospital, which is the case for most of these positions. So they may need to think a little differently. If they're not ready to jump to that bachelor's level, perhaps they go through a registered nurse program at the associate's level, graduate, go to work, use tuition reimbursement to then pay for their bachelor's degree, right? Save themselves some money while they're continuing their education. There's also going to be students that know they want to get in the medical field, but they're not 100% sure that they're ready from an academic standpoint. And so again, that stackable approach, right? Maybe they start as a medical assistant or they start as an LPN, licensed practical nurse. Once they gain the academic rigor that's needed to get into that ADN program and then get into that bachelor's program, they can continue their education. So this is going to allow students to take that phased approach to their education, allowing them to experience the profession before deciding and investing in their next educational or career step. And so that's one of the ways that Bryant and Stratton College is able to help path that college and career success. Since 1854, we have been educating tomorrow's workforce. We have our building-based locations in Wisconsin, Ohio, New York, and Virginia, as well as our online division. And one of the things that we are most proud of is our top-notch career services assistants at all locations focused on preparing graduates for career procurement. Our role is to ensure that the students that are going through our programs have the ability to gain experience while in the classroom through their internship and even get in front of employers, upon graduation to interview for the position. Now, we certainly can't promise them the job when they graduate, but what we can promise them is that we're going to give them all the tools to be successful and that we are going to help to network them within their field with employers that are partners of ours. And so talking about healthcare, right, in the example that we just used, you can see in our Wisconsin campuses, from a healthcare degree focus, we do have diploma programs that students can complete in a year. We have associate's degree programs that can be completed in 16 to 20 months, and bachelor's degree programs that can be completed in as little as 40 months, which is less than 4 years. And so that student coming in who's not 100% sure the direction they want to go, maybe they want to get into health service administration, they commit to 1 year of college. They do that diploma program in health service administration. And then from there, they realize, oh my gosh, I really do enjoy this. I love this. I'm going to move on and I'm going to do my associate's degree. And then they realize the career opportunity that they want requires them to have a bachelor's degree. So now they take all those credits they've earned so far, they continue right on into that bachelor's degree program. Now, healthcare is not the only degree that we offer. Healthcare programs are not the only degrees that we offer, but it is definitely one of the most in-demand fields right now. You can see we have an industry-aligned learning environment. Our industry-aligned medical wing provides students with hands-on instruction that's going to give them that real-world experience and experience that today's healthcare employers need and are looking for. Students will study theory, learn assessment skills, learn and apply soft skills in a clinical classroom environment, which is not only going to enhance their learning experience, but it prepares them for a successful transition into their healthcare careers. One of the things that isn't new to us is blended learning. The pandemic certainly pushed us along a little faster than we were working towards with blended learning, but we've certainly been able to help our students and meet them where they are, right? Students are able to have virtual learning with the same instructor that they're then able to come to class, get face-to-face time in the classroom with their instructor and those same students that they're working with in their virtual classroom. And then there's going to be virtual assignments and assessments that they're able to complete on their own. This is really a time saver for students, right? It's going to allow them to fit in the career training that they need while also fulfilling the needs personally and professionally, whether it's going to work, taking care of family, whatever other obligations they have, they can really fit the education portion of their life around everything else. Students have told us the best learning feature about blended learning is the support that they receive from the faculty and staff here at the college. And so, in our Wisconsin market, I talked about career services and all the things they're able to do for our students. You can see here, these are some of the employers that have hired our graduates. So Alliant, Encore, Ascension, Aurora Health, these are individuals that partner with our students that come in and do mock interviews. They host our students for internship opportunities. Many of our graduates have been able to go ahead and go work for some of these employers, just to name a few. And as I shared, this stackable approach, right? The stackable approach to college can really work in any field. So we have programs in legal services, business, technology, education. So if you have a student that you're thinking, man, I have a student that I'm thinking of right now that could benefit from this phased approach to education, that maybe needs that blended learning opportunity, that needs to, path out their career opportunities. They're not really thinking healthcare. That's okay. We can help to put together a path in these other areas of interest as well. So we could explore all those various opportunities. One of the things that does make us unique as a career college is that we also have Bobcats athletics. So we allow students to come in and gain the career skills needed to, go work in their field of study. But for those that are also athletes, they're able to get that collegiate experience, competing at the college level. So we have men's baseball, women's softball, men and women's basketball, men and women's track and field, as well as esports. This is, again, a great opportunity for our students to continue what they're passionate about with their athletics teams while continuing their education. So what are some of the resources for your students? The resources for your students, that starts with the admissions team. We work with each and every student one-on-one to talk to them about career planning. It may or may not be with Bryant and Stratton College, but we will help to put them on that right path. Then there's the financial aid team that can help them with their FAFSA, exploring what they may qualify for. Again, the FAFSA has to be completed regardless of what college they go to. As I shared earlier, we talk to students about the importance of researching 2 to 3 colleges. So helping them to complete that FAFSA, they can add 2 to 3 colleges onto that FAFSA and really explore the financial packages that are available to them. Our academics team is here not only to support them in the classroom, but there's also free tutoring and advisement. They're dedicated and committed to each student's academic success. And then, of course, career services. We've already talked about them. So what are some of the ways that we can partner? If I've said something here today, you're thinking that we certainly have opportunity to support some of your students. We have the ability to come to your classroom, come to your high school, talk to juniors and seniors about a variety of topics that meet the needs of your classroom, whether it's resume writing and interview skills, employability skills, social media in the real world, personal branding, healthcare careers. We can even custom build workshops to meet the needs of your curriculum. We can also set up bus trips, field trips, career days, college fairs, and financial aid fairs. So if there's a need within your high school, we're here to help. So again, whether it's virtually or in person, just let us know what those needs are. And you can reach out to me directly at the contact information listed here below. You can also research and follow us online. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our website is bryantstratton.edu. And to learn more about Bobcats athletics, you can go to bscbobcats.com. So with that, Lee, thank you so much for the time. I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Crystal. We are now going to open this up for the Q&A portion of our presentation. So if you have a question for either Crystal or myself, please type it in the chat feature or the Q&A feature. So Crystal, first question is about GPA requirements. Are there GPA requirements in order to attend Bryant and Stratton College, or what does the sort of admissions process look like?
So for the majority of our programs, so there's 2 programs that have a GPA requirement, which is occupational therapy assistant and physical therapy assistant. Otherwise, all other programs do not have a GPA requirement. Students are able to come in, meet with admissions, take their entrance assessments, and based on successfully passing those entrance assessments, they get direct entry into their program.
Gotcha. Okay. And I know you mentioned it before, but the Bryant and Stratton College is regionally accredited, and students can apply for the FAFSA in order to attend this school, right?
Absolutely. So we are Middle States accredited with our regional accreditation, absolutely. And we are eligible, students are eligible to use Title IV funding. So they'll submit their FAFSA, and whatever monies they are eligible to use, they can use with Bryant and Stratton just as they would use anywhere else. We also do offer internal scholarships to our students, academic scholarships as well as athletic scholarships. And then one of the things I love is that we do scholarship match. So if students do apply for some external scholarships, we're able to match those dollar for dollar, which can help to save students money towards their education.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Are there any events or anything that you would like to mention, any news or about the campuses that you want to talk about?
So the most recent news that we're excited to share is we have actually most recently switched to a not-for-profit status. So we are a not-for-profit institution. So that's exciting news to share. As far as upcoming events, we don't have anything planned just yet, but I do know within our Wisconsin market, our team is working on a 2023 calendar of events right now, so that, you know, by the end of December, we should be sending that out to all of the local high school guidance offices, just letting them know some of the activities that we're planning for teachers, counselors, administrators, as well as the students themselves.
Awesome. All right, great. Just a few house cleaning items here. We have recorded this session, and I'll be likely sending you that tomorrow morning. I will also include Crystal's contact information. So if you want someone from Bryant and Stratton College to reach out about scheduling a workshop with your students, or maybe hosting a FAFSA night at your school, please feel free to contact Crystal. We also conduct a follow-up survey. So when you leave this meeting, there's a survey. It's 4 questions long, it's multiple choice, but any feedback you could provide us would be greatly appreciated. We do presentations like this one all over the country, so any feedback you could provide would be very much appreciated. Before closing, I just want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. And I would also like to thank Crystal for sharing with us today's presentation and encourage you to contact her directly with any future questions you may have. But on behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Crystal, and myself, I want to thank you and wish you a great rest of your day. Goodbye.